Good afternoon, my dear students of Standard 8th. I hope that you all are fit and fine and are safe at home. Welcome back to this online class learning. Today we will learn a new topic of English grammar, that is non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs are a very important topic in English grammar. So now students, today we will learn about non-finite verbs and its parts, gerunds, infinitives and its types, and participles. So students, let us get started. Non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs act as a noun, an adjective or an adverb instead of a verb. Non-finite verbs are divided into three parts, that is gerunds, infinitives and participles. So we will now study what are gerunds. When we use a verb in place of a noun is called as a gerund. We add ing with verb's first form and use it as a noun. Gerund can be used in three forms: as subject, as object, as complement of verb to be. As students, you know that a sentence is divided as subject, verb and object. So likewise, gerunds are also used in three forms: as subject, object and as complement of verb to be. So let us see how the gerund can act as a subject. A subject can either be a noun or a pronoun. Subject cannot have another form. Example, swimming is good for health. Here, this sentence is talking about swimming. So swimming is a subject. Swimming is a gerund over here because ing is added to the verb and swimming is a noun over here. So swimming is a gerund. Second example, reading helps a lot in learning new things. Here reading is a subject. The sentence is about the subject, reading. So reading is a gerund. Ing is also added to the verb there. So now we will see how gerund is acting as a object. First example, Mark enjoys cooking. Here we can see that Mark is a subject and the object is cooking. So cooking here is a gerund because it is acting as an object over here. Second, that is a good painting. Here that is a subject. Painting is an object. Painting has ing, so painting is a gerund over here. Now third one, I love dancing. I is a subject, whereas dancing is an object over here. In dancing, ing is added, so dancing is a gerund here. It acts as an object in the sentence. Now third one, we will see how gerund can be used as a complement of verb to be. Here to be can be used in two forms, that is present tense and past tense. Whenever in present tense we have is, am, are plus verb, then it is in the to be form. Whenever we have was, were plus verb, then it is in the to be form, that is the past tense. So let us see how gerund can be used as a complement of verb to be. First example, Kritika's favorite hobby is playing the piano. Here we can see that the sentence is in present tense. It is having is, whereas is playing is a gerund which is in the form of to be. Second, he is trying to study hard for the exams. Here we can see that is trying is a gerund in the form of to be. This sentence is in the present tense. Third one, they were exercising in the garden early in the morning. Third sentence we can see that it is in the past tense. So were exercising is a gerund. Ing is added and were is there, which is a complement of verb to be. So students, gerunds are those verbs which are added ing. Ing is added to the verb. Whenever ing is added to the verb, then it is called a gerund, but it should act as a noun. So now we will see the next topic, that is infinitives. The next topic, infinitives. Infinitives is not the main verb of the sentence. It doesn't change as per the tense of the sentence, singular or plural, or the type of person of the sentence. There are two types of infinitives. So over here also there are two types of infinitives. First one is two infinitives and bare infinitives. Now what are two infinitives? Let us see. Two infinitives is created by adding to the base form of the verb, that is to the V1 form. We had already studied in previous grammar topics the V1, V2 and V3 forms of the verb. So two infinitives, whenever in the sentence we have to plus V1 verb, then it is called as two infinitives. Let us see the example so that you are more clear. First example, Dharya likes to sing melodious songs. Here we can see that to is added to the sentence and sing is the verb's base form. That is, it is in the V1 form. So to sing is an infinitive here. I have no time to talk. Here to talk is a infinitive. It is an object and is used to describe an object. So to talk is an infinitive. Next, she reads to gain knowledge. Here we can see that she is a subject, whereas to gain is describing the verb read. So to gain is an infinitive. It is in the 2 plus V1 form of the verb. So to gain is a to infinitive. Now let us see what are bare infinitives. Bare infinitives. There are some cases where to is not added to the verb. In that case it is called as bare infinitives. That means there are some sentences where we cannot see to. To is not there at all in the sentence, but there is a verb. So in that case it is called as two infinitives. Let us see the example. First one, she made me cry. Here she is a subject, cry is a verb. So here cry is standing alone, it doesn't have to. So cry is a bare infinitive. Second one, I heard him sing a lovely song. Here we can see that sing is a bare infinitive as there is no to in the sentence. Third one, can you help me finish my homework? Here we can see that help is a bare infinitive as there is no to added in the sentence. So whenever there are sentences having no to is not there at all and the verb is standing alone, then it is called as bare infinitives. So students, I hope that you have understood two infinitives and bare infinitives. Whenever the sentence is having to plus verb, then it is called as two infinitives. Whenever the sentence doesn't have to, then it is called as bare infinitives. Now let us move on to the last topic, that is participles. Participle is not the main verb in the sentence. It doesn't function as a verb in the sentence. Instead, it functions as an adjective in the sentence. Participles are mainly divided into three parts, that is present participle, past participle and perfect participle. We will see this all three parts of participle in detail with examples. So let us move on to the first one, that is present participle. Present participle is created by adding ing to the verb's base form and functions as adjective. previously we saw that gerunds are also formed by ing form, but it functions as noun. So students, don't get confused by present participle and by gerunds. Gerunds also ing is added, present participle also ing is added, but gerunds function as a noun, whereas present participle functions as an adjective. Let us see the example, then you will be clear. Okay students? So example, he jumped from a running train. Here we can see that he is a subject, whereas I have underlined running. Running is having ing, it is the present participle. Why it is a present participle? Because it is functioning as an adjective. It is describing the train, how the train was running. So here running is an adjective, and hence it is functioning as present participle. It behaves as a present participle in the sentence. Now second one, past participle is formed by using V3 form. In the previous topic of verbs we had studied what are V3 forms. V3 forms are having ed or en form of a verb, and past participle act as an adjective in the sentence. So already I said that participles are acting as adjectives. So here also how past participle is formed by using V3 form, past tense of the verb. Let us see the example. The broken glass cut my finger. Here you can see that I have underlined broken. Broken is in the V3 form, hence it is a past participle. And it is an adjective also. It is describing the glass, how the glass is broken. So broken is in the V3 form, it is a past participle, and it is describing the glass also. Now the third type we will see is perfect participle. Perfect participle indicates completed action. They can be in active form or passive form. So what is perfect participle? Completed action is called as perfect participle. It is in two forms. Now listen, perfect participle is in two forms. One is active form and passive form. Let us see the active form first. Active form is created as having plus V3 form. Example, having finished my homework, I started sending it to the teacher. Here we can see that this sentence is divided into two types. That is, it is divided into two. Having finished my homework is one sentence. I started sending it to the teacher is the second sentence. The first part is having the completed action. We can see that finished is a completed action. Whereas the second part, we can see that sending is just started. After finishing the homework, sending has been started. So over here, having finished is a active form. Having plus V3 form. Finished is in the ed form, that is the V3 form. So having finished is a active form of the present of the perfect participle. Next is passive form. Passive form is created by having been plus V3 form. Example, having been beaten up, he began to cry. Here the sentence is divided into two parts. Having been beaten up, and the second part, he began to cry. The first part, that is the first action of beaten, is completed, and the second action of crying is just started. So here being beaten is in the passive form of perfect participle. Having been beaten, it is the passive form of the perfect participle. So students, I hope you understood participles. There are three types of participles, that is present participle, past participle and perfect participle. In present participle, we saw that ing is added to the verb's base form and it functions as an adjective. Past participle, V3 form is used and it acts as an adjective. Perfect participle, we saw that it is a completed action. There are two types in perfect participle. One is active form and second is passive form. So students, I hope that you are clear with this topic. So students, let us revise quickly what we had learned today. First, we started with non-finite verbs it is divided into three parts: gerunds, infinitives, and participles. Gerunds, whenever a verb is in the ing form and is acting as a noun, is called as a gerund. We saw the examples, that is gerund acting as a subject, object, and complement of verb to be. Then second, we saw infinitives. We saw that there are two types of infinitives. One is to infinitive and the other is bare infinitives. Whenever a sentence have to plus verb, then it is called as to infinitive. Whenever in the sentence we have no to in the sentence, then it is called as bare infinitives. We saw the examples related to that. Then we saw participles. We saw that there are three participles. They are present participle, past participle, and perfect participle. We saw the two types of perfect participle, that is active form and passive form. So this is what the topic is about. So students, I hope that you have understood the topic of non-finite verbs very well. Okay students, thank you. Take care, be safe and stay healthy.